Hi, guys. I'm Rochelle Boo Keeling from King of the Nerds, and you're listening to Jesse and Elaine on Bring Me Your Torch.
Welcome to another episode of Bring Me Your Torch. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Elaine.
And we haven't been around in a week or so because you were traveling. How was your wedding out in Columbus, Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio was pretty epic. It was
epic. I don't think Columbus, Ohio and epic has ever been mentioned in the same category or same sentence.
Well, when you go to an Indian wedding and at the Ohio State Capitol and the groom comes in on a horse rocking out to some Punjabi music and there's about 300 people there, it's pretty epic.
I will tell you the truth. I love Bollywood movies. I really wish I was in a Bollywood movie. I loved any movie, doesn't matter whether it's Bollywood or regular. If there's a bunch of people dancing in unison, I love it.
There were a lot of people dancing, and it was great because we were walking down the street next to the groom who was on a horse dancing, and they were playing this loud music. And then all of a sudden, he gets to the front of the Ohio State House or state capitol there, and about 20 Indian chicks wearing full garb come up and start dancing around him, and they all dance straight up to the Capitol. And then the rest is history. They get married inside.
I was watching this Bollywood movie. I guess it was only kind of a half Bollywood movie because it was kind of, there was some American, stuff in it too. But they said how you dance. They had the stupid American goes, how you dance to the music is one hand you pet the dog, the other hand you screw in a light bulb. And then
it's like the doorknob light bulb thing. Yep.
I love it. I love Bollywood stuff. Well,
it's a very like shy. The fiance, his fiance is very shy, and she wasn't even there for the whole thing. She was sitting in a window looking down on everything.
Well, it's not something we see every day. So I'm glad you had a good time. So what we're going to do today now is talk a little bit, and we're like a week late. Talk a little bit about the final episode of 90 Day Fiancé season 3 and some of the wrap up show. And we have another episode coming out later this week because we're way behind a lot of the shows that have been on the last week or week and a half. So we're going to maybe Wednesday put out a show, catching up on some things and get back onto our normal schedule. But for now, let's talk about 90 Day Season 3, 90 Day Fiancé Season 3. And Season 3 is in the books. And I think we've said it before. It wasn't as good as Season 2, but that set a really high bar. And it wasn't perfect, but I thought it was definitely enjoyable. What do you think?
I think the end of the season with the the review, the couples, where are they now, and then
we'll get to that. Don't worry.
Yeah, and then the whole like Dr. Phil thing. I think the aftermath and the fallout of season 3 is better.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get to Dr. Phil in a little bit. I didn't get a chance to see it, but you were watching you're in the nail salon apparently
in Columbus, Ohio. It just came on. I thought it wasn't gonna be for like a couple weeks from what we talked from Hitch and what Melanie and DeVar were kind of saying online. I didn't think that would have happened already, but it did, and it was pretty brutal.
Well, we'll get there. Before we get there, though, let's just talk a little bit about the different couples that got married, because we had 2 people getting married in the previous episode, and that left us 4. Mark and Nikki, the infamous Mark and Nikki. It was Nikki's birthday, and so it was her and Elise, the daughter, and Mark. And it's just weird. And she was kind of in a funk after the whole thing from the previous episode where she had to sign the prenup. But then he gives her a big old ring and she gets excited. She goes, that he gave me this shows that he loves me. A little materialistic, huh? Like, here's a giant ring. He must love me. How about you don't treat me like a child and you love me?
She's so misguided, isn't she? I feel so bad for her and her stank face.
Stank? What the hell's a stank face?
She always has that look on her face like she just farted or something. It's like, oh, Mark.
Try living with Mark and... what would you look like if you had to do that every day?
Shitting yourself.
I feel really bad because she's going to want kids. You just look at her and she's like, I would like, maybe you'll change your mind. He's like, no, Nikki. No, I won't. He always says her name.
So
like,
scary.
Too much. Yeah. No, Nikki. We're not going to have children, Nikki. I'm sorry, Nikki. We won't have children. And she's like, oh, okay. But it's not going to work out because she's going to want kids. It's only a matter of time.
I mean, it would. Yeah. I mean, even he knows that. So he's still getting married to her.
And the fact that we're saying what we've been saying for the last few weeks shows that this was it was fun but predictable because, You know they're gonna get married. Of course, they try to make it look like maybe she's not going to show up on the beach there in Hawaii, but of course she
Yeah,
does.
of course, production.
And yeah,
Production's so
Mark.
predictable in TLC now. I feel like we know their inner workings just because we've talked to so many people and we've just watched the show so closely and analyzed it that TLC is just, come on, throw us something else this time.
The exciting thing with this couple is going to be in the tell-all, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. I think I devoted the entire section to tell-all just about what a weirdo Mark is. So we'll save that for that. We'll move on to Lauren and Alexi. And I don't know, they've got past the whole bachelorette fighting nonsense, blah, 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 yeah. And, they got married. And other than that, I mean, she's an acquired taste. She's a Jewish American princess.
I feel like this is the kind of girl you'd end up with.
Well, she's super psyched about having sex after they get married, so I knew I liked her for something.
He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, we get to have sex tonight. He's like, oh, yeah.
She's a little too high maintenance for me. I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah, you're pretty high maintenance though yourself. But so Alexi apparently had went to a strip club himself for his bachelor.
Yeah, it's one of the things we learned in the after show, that the reason that he was so mad at her is that she lost her mind and basically broke the engagement because he did it. So it's like, if you treated me that way, why the hell did you just turn around and do it yourself? Revenge?
Right, but isn't that a hypocrite?
Yeah, she is. She's very hypocritical.
No, I'm talking about him.
No, he's a hypocrite because she yelled at him and made him feel like garbage and broke off their wedding for doing this. So he's like, my bad, I'm a jerk. I had to deal with that. And then it's like if a police officer yelled at me for stealing and then went and stole. It doesn't work that way. You can't yell at me and tell me I'm a jerk for doing something.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it can kind of go both ways though.
Whatever. This is a boring couple, so let's move on from that.
Wah.
Fernando and Carolina. So Fernando's friend is doing the ceremony, was performing the ceremony. And am I crazy? Or his friends really trying to sabotage him? They basically were always telling Carolina what a jerk off he was.
Yeah,
I like him.
You're right.
Like, he cheated a lot. He did this, and I would have, if I was Fernando, I'd be like, shut the hell up. Like, what are you doing?
Is he a changed man? I feel like Fernando handles it very well, though. He's very classy about it. He just kind of like.
If you saw the after show, yeah, it was like water off a duck's back. He didn't get angry, and it was what it was, and that's the way to handle things. We've had limited interaction with him online, and that's the way to handle it. He doesn't get mad. He understands it's part of the show. I guess they were joking about how, Fernando, how do you get all these guys? And he's like, I was, a little more svelte in my younger days. I don't think he said svelte. That's my word. But, he addresses it head on and doesn't freak out, which a lot of these other people did. So I got to respect him for that.
Yeah, he's definitely a happy-go-lucky cheater, and we like that. Just kidding. We love Fernando.
Former cheater, no more.
A reformed cheater.
Yeah. And Fernando's mom, she lightened up kind of for a second. It didn't last long, but I think Carolina has to take what she can get when dealing with Fernando's mom. Any moments of niceties from her, you take it, and then you realize she may call you a lazy, stupid Colombian in the next breath. It's just how life goes.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Carolina, I really felt bad for her at the wedding because, one, I think it was in their backyard or something, which is not the worst thing, but she had no family there. The mom was being kind of opening up, but still being really difficult. And it's like, this girl, out of all the couples, other than Nikki, I think has it the worst. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard because you saw her family crying and stuff when they found out she was moving away. It's hard to move that far away from your family when you're that close. And again, that she doesn't speak English as well as some of the other people who are on the show. She still has a lot to learn. So it makes it, I think it even closes you off a little bit more because you can't just go out and meet new people. You have to meet new people who speak Spanish to really have. Because you always say these things that you hear someone talking or speaking in broken English and they sound so dumb to you, like initially, which is what you think. And then you realize these people are speaking another language that I can't do that. And they really, if you talk to them in their native tongue, are very smart.
See, I don't think they sound that bad. I can totally understand everything that they're saying.
Well, she does the thing where I know a lot of people who are learning a second language do, where you kind of switch back and forth between the two languages.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I speak French, and so for me, I can kind of see like why she says the things she says, and also I was an English teacher, so yeah,
You were an English teacher? When the hell was that? Oh, in France.
Yeah, an English teacher in France.
Here when you worked in high school? I never heard that.
Yeah, no, I worked in an elementary school, but not teaching English. But yeah, I can totally see why she says and puts the sentences together that she says.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to interject here. I just got a text message
Uh-oh, what?
from Danielle from season 2 of 90 Day Fiancé, and she's gonna be
Of Danielle and Muhammad?
yep, Danielle Muhammad, the better half, and she's gonna be coming on with us shortly.
Oh, great. Awesome. Well, then let's just knock through this and finish it up. Melanie and Devar. Devar cries at the wedding, which, I can dig that. I'm a sensitive dude. And apparently his crying finally got Melanie's sister to drop that sourpuss and put on a smile and like him, I guess, for the moment. So that's a win. And after it was a cute little thing with Hunter. Is it Hunter, right? The kid. He's looking at Devar as now like a father figure. But you said they were both now on Dr. Phil last week, and it did not go well for Melanie and Devar. So I didn't see it. What happened?
So basically my takeaway is Dr. Phil was really trying to push the storyline of, here's Melanie's sister having all these concerns about Devar, and basically Dr. Phil was trying to dig really deep into Devar's past, like, oh, kind of saying, oh, are you going to cheat on him or cheat on Melanie, and probably insinuating that, oh, is there a reason why you quit your job 4 months before you moved to the US to be with Melanie? Why weren't you continue working? Are you essentially trying to imply that he's going to be living off Melanie?
Well, if you go on Dr. Phil, you got to expect that, and that's what you deserve for actually going on the show. I mean, Dr. Phil is kind of a hack. He's not really there to help you. He's there to get ratings.
He really is. And I've been told by an inside source that when you go on to Dr. Phil, that you have to just take everything he says with a grain of salt and don't take anything he says personally.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're not going on Dr. Phil. I assume you go on there to get paid, or at least you get a little more notoriety. You're not going on there to have Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is about as helpful as a psychiatrist in Vanderpump Rules, which is not at all.
Yeah, but
it's just like fake TV mumbo jumbo.
But when the own producers of the Dr. Phil show are telling you not to take what he says personally, but then they're going to turn around and give you free therapy for the next 6 months. I mean, Dr. Phil might be screwing you up more than anything.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, we're going to move on to the tell-all show, and we're going to go through them quickly. I just want to talk about some of the things that Mark said and how insane they are. But before we do that, I wanted to mention I like this host, Erica Hill. I don't know who the hell she is, but actually she took charge. She was nice when she needed to be, but she didn't let people get away with crap.
Yeah,
and
I
really
think
stuck it to
so.
them, especially Mark.
Yep.
So Mark had a statement he said about some of the online internet haters. And he said, when you look at most of the people responding, they have 5 things in common. Basically, they're overweight, they're women, they're alone, and they're jealous. I don't know what the 5th one is, but you know what I'm saying. So no one looks at the situation and just says, you know what, this is really odd. And it seems that he's just trying to make some excuses. You have to look at the situation, even if you're in it.
There's some people that hate on our podcast, and I think they have those 4 things in common, unfortunately. But
how would you know? We don't see these people are. There are people out there on the internet, obviously. If you go to any like Yahoo comment section, it's horrible. But there are people who are just jerks to be jerks, and then there are people who comment on things like Mark and Nikki. It's an odd situation, and he's an odd guy. We try not to be mean just for mean's sake.
Not anymore, anyway.
But sometimes, the truth hurts.
Yeah, I mean, the truth does hurt. But, I mean, the truth doesn't really need to speak. Mark speaks for himself. I mean, come on, look at the guy.
And for Nikki, too. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
And they asked Mark about the whole thing where he yelled at Nikki with the dirty windows and stuff. And he goes, I don't need people messing up the place and making more work for me. And he looks at Erica, the host, and goes, do you let your kids mess up your windows? And she goes, why'd you compare to your kids? She's your wife. And he really kind of had nothing.
That's so weird.
To come with on that.
And so awkward.
Well, it's true. I mean, when he mentioned when he met Nikki's father, he didn't want to say it, but he had to.
Yeah.
He basically said, treat her like a daughter, protect her, but treat her like a daughter. And he's like, oh, God. And then Mark says that he's been on 100, if not more, dates with women in the past 20 years. These are American women. He goes, on these first dates, I've showed up with a dozen roses, fed them 4 stars, if not 5-star cuisine, and treated them to good conversation. I mean, every single date was a train wreck. I had egg on my face every single time. Well, first of all, women don't have to like you because you bring them to places with good food and give them flowers. You're still a weirdo. And you treat them to good conversation. Well, I see how you have a conversation with Nikki. You don't let her talk and you tell her what to do all the time. I mean, it doesn't seem like he wants to take responsibility for some of the problems he was having. No?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I also think that he was obviously looking for a Filipino chick. He may have dated these
A young
American women.
Filipino chick.
Yeah, but he had a preconceived notion when he went there about what kind of type of woman or girl ugh, that he wanted, like his ex-wife. So all of this, I dated all these women. This is just another excuse.
You know what? You marry someone from another country and they come to live with you. That happens. We see it on the show, but we see it in real life too. But when it happens repeatedly, that's a pattern.
And with a
and that
40-year age difference, that's
yeah, maybe the American women don't like you, and you're just like, well, might as well just. By the way, I was at a party with some friends the other day. Friends I don't talk to as often as some of my other friends. They go, hey Jesse, we see you're doing a lot of stuff on the podcast with 90 Day Fiancé. Is that something you're thinking about doing? And I was like, what?
what?
Thanks a lot. Someone on the podcast, and now suddenly I'm going to do that. Thanks a lot. Not that there's anything
Not
wrong
that
with
there's
that.
anything
to our
wrong
90
with
Day Fiancé
that.
friends. But no, I'm not looking to do
Jinx.
that. Thank you for asking,
Jinx.
friends.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
All right, let's go give Danielle a call. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Hello?
Hey Danielle, it's Jesse and Elaine. How's it going?
Hi.
We're really happy to have you back on the show, but before we get into questions about season 3, how are things going with you and Muhammad?
They're going okay.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Well, now that season 3 is in the books, do you have any general thoughts on the season? Did you enjoy it? Was it hard to watch? What do you think?
I did enjoy it, and I think some of the way they did some of the couples, it was hard to watch because it brought back memories like the way they betrayed Mark.
Oh yeah.
And the way they betrayed Melanie and DeVar.
Betray or portray?
Right? Because they were trying to make it come off that he's only here for basically the green card and stuff like that, and he's not. Because I talked to him on Facebook.
Did you
really?
you see the Dr. Phil special with them?
Yes, I did. I did watch it.
Ugh, I can't believe that. Dr. Phil was brutal on them.
Yes, he was, especially on DeVar.
Yeah, we were just talking about it a second ago that he's not there to help anybody. He's there for ratings. It's a TV show, so you shouldn't go there expecting any actual help.
Yeah.
So you said you were emailing or Facebooking with DeVar and Melanie. Have you gotten to know them a little bit or any of the other cast members?
I've got to know Melanie and DeVar and Russian girl and Carolina.
And those are good relationships, right? I mean, you're friendly with them. You're on good terms with them.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. There's some tension between the cast members and some past cast members. You got to be sure. You just never know.
Oh, yes.
Cast member from our season. He likes to throw the cast under the bus.
You know us. We like to stay neutral. We don't like to pick any sides. We're here to report, not to join in any of the arguments or fights. So, we love you all. We stay neutral.
Yeah.
Now, you said you didn't like how they portrayed Mark on the show. And I think you'd agree that Mark is an interesting character, I guess to say the least. So do you think any of his portrayal was just based on him being an interesting guy, we'll put it that way? Or do you think it was really just TLC editing things and doing what they do to give him a weird edit?
I think TLC betrayed him that way. And I think some of the producers set up some of this stuff, like the picture of the ex-wife. I think producers set that up.
Yeah, Mark, I think you should put a picture of your ex-wife in your bedroom. It'll cause more drama. It'll be fine. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, my goodness. So now that you're a vet of 90 Day Fiancé, how weird is it to watch the show since you know what goes on behind the scenes?
Yeah, they're pretty sneaky and working things, and they are.
Yeah, you probably don't watch the show like a normal fan would. You're probably looking at all the little things you see, and oh look, that's how they're screwing him there, and they're changing it there, and they're doing that to him there.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my oldest daughters, Faith, the oldest one, she says she don't ever watch any of the reality shows as the same because she knows a lot of it is set up.
Yeah, we always say there's not much reality in reality TV, and that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, we the last time we actually talked to Muhammad, he told us that he was going to get on, I think, YouTube and just kind of watch all the episodes of this season all at once because I think he was a little behind at the time. Has he been keeping up with it?
Here and there he has, but not every week.
Oh, yeah.
And we should have brought this up immediately, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Elaine, but we are horrible, horrible hosts. So we should have mentioned the fact that you're a grandmother now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yep, my son and his girlfriend had their baby.
Aww.
2 weeks old Wednesday.
Aww.
It goes by fast.
Yes, it does.
I don't have any children, so I don't know how I'd know that.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad it'll be a nice Christmas for you guys then.
Yep.
Now, before we go, do you have any predictions for season 4?
Yeah, what are we going to see next season?
I'm not quite sure yet what we're going to see.
I mean, they keep setting the bar higher and higher. I'm actually kind of afraid on what might be on the horizon for season 4.
Oh, yeah, so am I.
Well, like a 20-year-old and a 70-year-old this time?
Could be, or a same-sex, or...
We had heard there was a same-sex couple this season, but they pulled that at the last minute. Probably a smart move.
I
Maybe
heard
we
that
can.
too.
Maybe we get a Anna Nicole Smith situation where there's like a dude on life support and he's trying to marry this blonde bombshell who wants all his money. Well, I guess the only way to find out is to watch next season. So we hope you're around and we can talk a little bit about it maybe after a few episodes and get your view on that season.
Yeah, I'm going to watch again. It's quite interesting.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on the podcast today. Just a quick little discussion on the end of season 3. And you're always going to be a friend of the podcast, so you're always welcome on here. We hope to have you on here sometime next season.
Definitely.
Yeah. See you
All
guys
right. Have a great
next
night.
season. Okay. Bye.
Well, there you have it. Now that we've spoken to our favorite 90 Day Fiancé gal pal, Danielle, you can go to our website at www.bringmeyourtorch.com. But where else can you go?
Facebook.com/bringmeyourtorch or Twitter.com/bringmeyourtorch without the H.
No H?
And also you can find us now on iHeartRadio, which I'm super proud of.
You love iHeartRadio. You can find us on iTunes, of course. You can find us on Stitcher, on Blueberry, on YouTube, where we get lots of money. Basically, just Google our name. Every episode that comes out, there's more and more stuff to Google, and it just keeps coming up higher and higher in the Google results.
And I want to do a little special shout out to our new follower on Facebook from Burkina Faso.
We're totally international, and I love it.
I'm internationally known on the microphone. And I'm excited about that.
Well, he's our new friend, and I love him too.
And I think his name's Luke Zhao.
I hope you said that correctly. If not, we totally apologize. All right, let's move on. And by moving on, I mean get the hell out of here. And remember, you may have come here as a stranger, but you're leaving as a friend. We'll see you next time on Bring Me Your Torch.
Bye.